Welcome to Uncloaked Illusions. I'm Chris Anthony, your political, geopolitical, historical, and philosophical commentator. Let's get started. I had to compound the information from these two articles into this segment because I believe you're only afforded a certain amount of time. So, the first article that I want to touch bases on, which is the meeting that King Solomon had with the Russians, with the Russian president Vladimir Putin. Now, this is interesting because the political posturing, geopolitical posturing as well, is shifting. The power we do know is shifting from the west to the east. And this is major because of OPEC and the alliance between Saudi Arabia and the U.S. in its baby OPEC, which is an oil-fueled money-making machine where the dollar will always be enriched as long as the oil in the Middle East can be put on the dollar. Now, this is changing for several reasons. One being that the Chinese has adopted its own SWIFT system in a sense, the AIIB, which you will not have to go through the SWIFT system in order to purchase dollars to buy oil or anything else from a country. Countries are pretty much moving away from the United States, and it's becoming obvious every day. That's the reason you have these propagated ideas of war and even the provoking of other countries. You have the Russians, the Iranians, the Turks, you have the Chinese. All of these people have pretty much amalgamated together and they formed their own coalition even outside of the BRICS nation. Now, the American people are unaware of these geopolitical strategic changes. And it's because their heads are pretty much in the toilet. They're more concerned with the celebrities and how their lives are. They're also more concerned with perpetuating their narcissism and the me, look at me world that we live in, where everything is just superficial and artificial. You don't even have organic friendships or relationships anymore because everything is just based off of your superficiality and your materialism. Now, also, what we have going on is there is a Congress, a national Congress coming up with the Chinese. And I believe that this is going to be an opportunity for the Chinese to become the new leading economy, the new leading empire in a sense. Of course, they don't want to call it an empire, but an empire is an empire. And I think it has a great deal to do with the dethroning of the dollar. So you have to pay close attention to what this national congressional meeting is and what it's going to be and what's going to be announced. But I don't think China's going to go in trying to make deals or even cave into other people's demands or commands. They are going to let the world know that this is the new paradigm and we are going to be the leaders in this new paradigm. Yeah, people or leaders in other nations are just overall tired of the United States and the fact that it's made a money making machine off of weaponry, and it's also been surviving off of the continuous warmongering and the continuous wars abroad, especially in the Middle East. You know, there's strategic land, there's strategic areas over there that the United States wants its hand on. Look at Afghanistan, the opioids, the poppy fields. Look at Iraq. I mean, look at Syria, which was a failed attempt thanks to Russia. There's just a lot going on in the world, and I think that we are completely being distracted from it Because ultimately, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to want to go and pretty much sacrifice your damn political leaders once you realize the treason that's been committed courtesy of Washington. Uh, you can follow me on Twitter on Cloak Delusion. You can follow me on my now new YouTube channel, Uncloaked Delusions, my blog, Uncloaked Delusions. You can get all the information there that I'll probably compound in a video. You can definitely look forward to some things. I have my own podcast that's Uncloaked Delusion as well. There should be an interview uploaded tonight or tomorrow with a hoodoo practitioner, and you get to learn a little bit about how the religion, how the spirituality of it all pretty much came about. Man, I think it'll be interesting, especially that Halloween is coming up, and All Hallows Eve, something else that we completely misconstrued and turned into something else. This is Chris Anthony. Thank you for tuning in.